Well, we may or may not have audio or double audio. We'll find out.
Yeah. Let us know if you hear an echo.
We've been trying to figure this out. We probably should have had the IT guy with us, but
Probably.
And welcome everybody. We had 30 awesome people out there.
Woo.
Sure, almost everybody out there knows my guest here tonight, Austin Fishin Fever.
What's up, everybody?
You know how these shows go. We like to call everybody's name out because let's face it, it's pretty cool hearing your name being called out on a show, right? Like I always like that. We got of course, there's Rhonda Fishin for Whiskers. Thank you for all that you do. 922 Crappie Barbecue, Cool Catch Fishing. James is out there. James been on a tear lately. Watch out for James.
I know.
Well, as you, like y'all both been killing it. So that's awesome. Rowdy Royals out there. How's it going? Uncle Jeep, my favorite troll in the game. There's the IT guy we were talking about. Are you seeing anything with has anybody said echo, bad echo? How's audio? I'm running my mouth and we might have crappy audio. Who knows? Echo Austin.
Okay.
Brian B is
I don't know what to do different.
Brian B is saying, "Who's your guest? Never seen him before." Let's see.
All right. Let me see if I can try something else.
Maybe reboot your whole phone. Are you on the phone or laptop?
The laptop.
Oh. Yeah. That's my
Yeah, just give me.
I can kind of troubleshoot I can troubleshoot StreamYard in the phone with you. You go to laptop, it's like, yeah. Maybe reboot the whole laptop. That usually works for That usually works for Dustin's calls. So
yep. Well, I'll be right back. Let me try something.
All right, I'm still calling out names then while you're doing that. Let's see. I was way up here. Man, I'm as bad as Dustin, getting that far behind the chat. You know, unless the IT guy out there has any other ideas. We were getting I wasn't hearing anything backstage. As far as echo, everything was crystal clear for me. Austin was the one having the echoes. So Uncle Jeep. And then we got Cool Cats Fishing. He's late. I know I was trying to do it exactly at 8:02. But, oh, well. Sampy's out there. Steve Ransom, how's it going? Nina's Kayak Crew, hello. Guess they've been on a tear. Freddie got a 38-pounder this morning. Austin and Dustin got the 44 and a half, I think it was. I was pretty close. I was pretty close to guessing the weight last night. But shout out to them. Great job on locating that big fish last night. Let's see. Let's see if he notices. LG Bass, my good friends out there, how's it going? Hey, you know, that's how it works, bro. You can't put spots on a tiger, so. Greg, always great to see you. Say it once. Is this TikTok? It might be. Wait, I gotta get the disco lights going and
Okay.
I'm still hearing good. You're hearing it again?
Yes.
All right, well,
let me try. I got one more thing I can do. Oh, what a pain in the butt.
Well, that's good. I wasn't done calling out the names yet. 43 awesome people. Sampy's out there. Hooks and hammocks. I hope you and Telly and Nina and Freddie having an absolute blast this week. Brandon's Outdoor Adventures. Good to see you. So once we get this, well, you're still okay. Christopher, you're still okay. Oh, hooks and hammocks, I imagine. You're still all right. He hasn't got to the I hope you poop the bed yet, so. That could go bad. Greg B's out there. Steve Ransom, how you doing? David Smith, thank you, thank you. I'm almost caught up in chat. No, maybe not. I don't know. Chadwick's out there. What's up, Chad? Thank you, James. Thank you very much. There you go. And once we get this, Austin echoes when he talks. All right. There's Dan, Goober Time Guide Service. What's up, Dan? I think I just got a message. Oh. Possibilities. I'll talk to you after the show, Dan, if that's all right. Brian Bear, what's up? Good to see you. If I miss anybody. Yeah, that's what I thought too, Cool Cats. Nice try. I know. There's Uptown Chrissy Brown. What's up? How you doing? $44.5. That's right. That's right. I was off by 0.1. So 1/10 of a pound. So a little more than an ounce. I know that'd be perfect, right, LG? So once we get 47 awesome people, thank you all for coming in. Once we get this straightened out, Mike Irvin, good to see you. Dale Hayslip, how's it going, my friend? Crappy day, fish on. How are you? Hilly Billy Hondo. Oh, excuse me. Sampy's out there. Appreciate it. Everybody coming in. We're going to get this straightened out, and we're going to talk to Dustin. The ins get you. We're going to talk to Austin for a little while. Yeah, I think Dustin might have had something to do with this. I'm not sure. He did fish with Austin last night. Yes, I was going to bring that up. There you go. 22.2 pound blue the other day. Okay, so there he is. Let's see.
Do we have a echo?
I'm not hearing nothing, but let's see what chat says. What the? Look what you walked back into, Austin. What is going on?
Now I hear an echo in my Bluetooth. And that's never happened. What the world's going on?
This is what happens when you try to start doing interview shows again when you haven't done them in so long. Now they're saying I'm echoing. All right. Well, I'm right there at the bottom. I know you've had a little bit of experience with this. I'll try to reboot my whole thing. I've got full Wi-Fi. Yes, still echo. But that's the only thing that I haven't done is rebooted my whole phone. So I'll do that, and it's got to go from there.
Okay.
So there
Yeah,
we are.
I've never heard the an echo in my Bluetooth before.
Yeah, I've got that. I had to reset my stuff right before we came in, but yep. All right, bro. So there we are. That's where we're at. I'm out of here. I'll be right back.
Okie dokie. All right, y'all. Is there an echo now? That's just the joy. I'm trying to read chat. It's just the joys of live YouTube, you know. Uncle Jeep, yeah. Twisted my ankle from fishing in the driveway. So stand left and no more echo. So then it's right. It's got to be stand then, right? Isn't that how that works? But anyways, I know me holding the phone isn't nearly as professional, but I don't think it matters. I'm good, Austin. Sounds better since Stan signed up. Let's see.
Hey, so Austin, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, you know, just out here fishing. Not tonight though, but catching fish, and you should know all about that. You reeled in a monster. Sorry, Mrs. Fever's trying to hand me the tripod. But we went out there. Justin said hi. But yeah, we went out last night, buddy, and you got yourself a pig, didn't you?
Absolutely, had a blast doing it too.
Yeah, we had a fun time. So still no echo with me and Dustin.
Now, as soon as he dropped out and you started talking, the echo went away.
So it's Stan. Okay.
So that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine. I just shut down my laptop for no reason.
Nah, you probably hadn't shut it down for a while, so.
Yeah.
You know, the IT guy in me says you need to do that at least once a week.
That's fine. I'll schedule a restart.
Okay. I'll make sure I mark it down.
All right. Let's go to chat again. The picture's really clear, by the way.
Yeah, picture looks real good.
Yeah. All right, everybody. So how's everybody doing? I'm sure Stan asked that, but hello, everybody. Hilly Billy Hondo. I do that every time. Hilly Billy Hondo. I always want to say Hillbilly. Brian B. I know you said you ain't never heard of me. That's okay. I ain't never heard of you neither.
Thank you, Freddie.
Customs and Gear. What's up, Freddie? Yeah, that was a great fish. It sure was. Uptown Chrissy Brown. What's up?
Thank you, Bubbles.
I did not. Well, I have caught a couple pigs, but not last night. Last night was all Dustin.
No, you did set the hook. Because I was in behind the tripod and I had a hard time trying to get out of it.
Yeah,
in a boat that I'm not used to.
Yeah, you're not used to the John boat, a smaller John boat than Sean's.
Yeah, it was a little perilous at times.
But it was fun.
What's
funny is like I'm used to an even smaller boat. So my current boat, I feel like I'm on, the Titanic. I am like I don't, to me it's very stable because of what I'm used to,
Right.
So it's funny to me.
Yeah, I'm used to being able to jump off my seat onto my deck and not have any movement whatsoever. If I were to jump on your boat, I'd probably tip the whole thing over.
Yep, Dustin, you're doing a great job. That's right, Brian B.
Thanks, Bubbles. Appreciate that. Bubbles! Sorry.
Gotta love Bubbles.
Austin is the best fisherman on the James. He's so good you can even get Dustin on fish.
A lot of times I agree with what Chad says, but I just can't I can't agree with that. You know, I'm not
Oh,
I don't
Bubbles
have it in
agrees.
me to of course he does. I don't have it in me to agree to that statement.
Now, I figured I'd come in here and try to help out Stan since he was having some technical difficulties.
Yeah, I say you just stay up anyways. I mean, what's he gonna do? You know,
Kick me
what's the
out.
worst he can do is say no. You know.
Hey, Cos, how you doing? Welcome in.
Hey, Cos.
Hope everybody had a great week. And I know we did had a great end of the week last night on SNL.
Yeah.
That was very exciting. I when the rod went down, to be honest with you, I think I saw the rod beside it shake. So I didn't even see the takedown. I just saw the rod shake.
Well,
Dustin got his groove back.
And it wasn't even, I don't think that it was even a takedown necessarily. I think that fish grabbed it and was just on the run, because when I looked at it, the line was just moving out. And
Right.
so I reeled a couple times and it didn't really feel like any resistance. I think I said, I don't think it's on there. And then the line kept moving, and I was like, okay, grab it, grab it, grab it.
Well,
Yeah.
I know I asked you too. I said it got off, didn't it, or something like that? And you're like, no, it's
Yeah.
still on there.
Or maybe that's what happened. I don't know, but yeah, it was an odd bite. I don't think it took the rod down. Not until you corralled it around 6 other suspended rods, which I still find amazing, because even though you were guiding it, like that fish at any second could have decided no and went the other way, and we would have had a huge mess.
Oh,
Yep, there's an echo.
We can't hear you, Stan, but we're echoing when you're in here.
Son of a gun! What in the world?
There you are.
Oh. You know how hard it is for me to move my lips and not talk? I mean, that's pretty.
Hey, Austin, say something. Oh,
yeah.
dang it.
I just saw my circle of death. All right, well.
For a second there, I didn't hear an echo, but now I do.
Right. So you know what? I'm gonna go out and chat. I will message my questions to Dustin.
Wow. This is hilarious.
I just came up to try to help out, Stan.
Well, you're the host now, so.
Oh, Brian B is saying it's an echo. Well, actually, I'll stay here. Well, do you got to jump out or anything, Dustin?
No, I'm good.
All right. We're gonna have you, Austin. We'll have you come back. One of the.
This is just an extended version of the bait shop. This is just a BS session right now.
Yeah. We'll do the because I think it's an important show. I think your journey in catfishing is important, and I think it could help some people out. And maybe I'll get it figured out. I still got 32 minutes, so when you got the twos with you, you never know.
That is true.
Hey, Stan, maybe try this. Mute yourself real quick.
Yeah, that's
okay. Are we still an echo? Yeah. See, well, I hear a slight echo when he's muted, but not near as bad.
Yeah.
So maybe Stan can ask a question, mute himself, and then Austin can answer it, and then it's worth a shot.
we had thought about that before. Like I was
Yeah.
gonna mute, and then he was gonna mute, and but oh my goodness. Yeah, no echo. When what could be causing that? Yeah, let me try that again.
See, I
Y'all
don't hear
get
an echo.
talking.
No, I do.
Austin.
Yes.
Yes.
What? Like I said, we're gonna have you coming back and stuff again. But I know you did a lot of upriver fishing and a lot of like small water type fishing and stuff.
Yep.
Who was it, or what got you kind of involved with fishing when back in the younger Austin days?
I think I don't know. It's hard to tell when it like really started, but I know my dad and my mother, but mostly my dad, taught me how to catch, bluegill and crappie and different things, bobber and worm and you know, and then I think it was really just that simple. And like as soon as I started, I was just hooked. And like ever since then, my whole life, my favorite hobby or my passion, other than now I got kids and whatnot, but you know my passion was fishing. And I started out doing that, and I got into catfishing when I was a teenager, really, because my dad really wasn't much into catfish. He grew up in Michigan, and he grew up catching like monster slab crappies, um, like you would see Babe Winkleman catching, on the Outdoor Channel. That was what that was his thing,
And not to cut you off there, dude, did you see like when Lyle and them had, you know, Babe and all those like ones we grew up with? I was like,
Yep.
you know me with talking, but there's some of the ones that would be like there's some of the ones that would be like I'm just yes sir, yeah, yes,
Yep.
good to meet you sir.
Yep.
Like I grew up like that was every Saturday morning, like
Yes, it was.
religiously.
Yep. And yeah, for me too, they've been around for a long time.
Okay, and then so I know like I when you first came on the scene with around here and stuff, I watched a lot of your videos, and I know that we've talked about that. And some of your best videos, or I shouldn't say best videos. I look at we talked the other night. I have a blast watching your stuff, and we're having fun with this, obviously, because you have
Oh yeah.
to. But a lot of your best performing videos have been the small water type.
Yep.
Hey, what's up, Mastermind? The small water type stuff. Do you think that's because you've had more experience in that? Do you feel more comfortable, like you feel like you have more confidence in that? So do you think that affects it, or do you just think that like, hey, there's more people out there that can associate with small water, so it kind of works out that way, or both?
Yeah. I think it's both. Because let's see. I when I go to a pond and I am gonna aim for bluegill and crappie, I I definitely expect myself to catch something. I have a ton of confidence with bluegill and crappie. I grew up doing it. I've been doing it weekly for like my whole life almost. So um, I do have a ton of confidence doing that, but I also think that you reach a much broader audience when especially if you title your videos, pond fishing or bluegill or crappie, like because almost everybody that catfishes also fishes for bluegill, or maybe not almost everybody, but maybe, I guess that's a fair statement.
I'd say probably 90 something percent.
Yeah.
If you've evolved to the point where you're catfishing, especially for bigger catfish, you've targeted bluegill, crappie, because you can only throw the cast net so many times, and if you don't get shad, well, you got to catch them on worms. So
Yep.
that's your next bet. So, and there you
Yeah,
go.
I think,
You want to read that for me, Austin?
sure. Here we go. FOA Customs and Gear. That's Freddie. Freddie has the new FOA Powerline 30-pound nylon mono. He says it's fire. Dustin, Stan, and Austin. He says well, they've been slaying fish on the Tennessee River this week. Yeah, they've been live with hooks and hammocks, having a blast. Many 20s, a 41 yesterday, a 38 last night. So they've been doing a great job. Make sure you go to FOACustomsandGear.com. Get you some 30-pound mono. Use code 2STANS10. Give you 10% off, which pays for shipping.
I believe it's Fever 10 and
Yep.
TSW 10.
Yep.
And a bunch of them out there. And the big thing with that, I love FOA gear. You've seen us test the crap out of it. The line is something as of yet we haven't had the opportunity to test it out yet.
Yep, me
And
neither.
I as much as I love Freddie and whatever, we are definitely going to test it out. And my concern is thinner diameter, because that's what's great about it. Same thing with braid and other things.
Yep.
But I think it's going to be great. I think it's going to be amazing. Even though it's thinner diameter, I think it's got more abrasion resistance than braid does. So I think it's going to work out fine. And so far, like you said, they've been having some great results with it. But
Yep.
30-pound, the 30-pound power line, FOA line, is about the equivalent of what did we say last night? About 17. It's about 17 because it's 0.40 millimeters.
Yeah.
So that's pretty close to around 17 pound mono as far as the diameter, the thickness of it. So, and a lot of times when it comes to abrasion, a lot of that is the thickness of the line.
Yep.
So, but it's supposed to have, it's got nylon end, the mono in there, and it's compacted. The reason that they can make that heavier, pound test in a thinner diameter is because all of the filaments are compressed super tight together. With mono, it's the copolymer, right. So we'll see, but so far it's been great. Well, there's a question out there for you.
Well, I tell you what, I absolutely love being part of the FOA pro staff. It's I never, Stan asked me, how I got started into fishing and different things, so I picture myself being a kid and catching bluegills and different things and watching Babe Winkleman and Bill Dance and whoever else I could just watch. I didn't even care what they were fishing for. I just wanted to watch fishing on television. And such and such is brought to you by, and all the sponsors come up, and you just sit there, eating Pop-Tarts, watching it. And
if
to
Jodi's
think,
out there, don't bring up the Pop-Tarts. It's too
Yeah,
soon
that's
for
true.
Pop-Tarts. So
yeah,
Captain Crunch, anything else, but
yeah, that's true. Eating my pancakes. How about that? I was eating my pancakes watching, but and not that I'm famous and not that I really care to be famous or anything, but to think that I have a YouTube channel and I'm part of a pro staff, that's pretty dang cool. Yeah, I never would have thought, so I really do appreciate that opportunity. And it's not just being part of a pro staff, it's being part of a pro staff for a company that I believe in. And hit Nazi
yeah,
dude.
it was 922 that was wiped out by the Pop-Tart. So I think they got that. I think they got that situation unsweetened, but
But yeah, being part of a pro staff, of a company that I believe in and that makes really good products and that's ran by a husband and wife team that's just the nicest people you can meet, veteran owned and operated.
well,
It's hard to beat
Nina
that.
especially, but Freddie,
Yeah.
For the most part, yeah.
Well,
For the most part, but
Freddie asked the question, so I was just trying to be nice, So but no, I love it. I can't thank y'all enough.
and I concur. And wanted to get more in depth with things, but like I said, Austin, we fish. I'm surprised that out of everybody here, our little group here, that it's you and I that have not fished together yet. Because I'm usually I'm usually the first one that's out there, like, hey, we'll jump on the bank, the boat, and you do both just like I do. I'm surprised that we have not, and we even talked about doing little, small water fishing and stuff, because that's what I like. But that'll happen one of these days. But
Yeah,
we've
it won't be
seen
long.
you on a tear lately, and you've always caught some fish. But one things that we talked about was looking for those bigger fish, and you were out there week after week after week, and you're like, "What's going on?" And it. I knew it was just. I knew it was just.
Yep. Sure, why not?
Well, that's a dang good thing I don't go live on Thursdays. That's for
That's
sure.
what I was thinking. Well, I guess I don't know, Dustin. We might be able to get him involved in that. He's pro staff too, so he's got a Thursday night show.
There you go. Well, we'll let that clothing optional thing stay on Thursdays. But so when I first started talking with Epic, one of the things I said is, we haven't really targeted big catfish yet, and I said, we're a multi-species angler. We've caught, by we I mean my wife has caught 4-pound crappie. By we caught huge walleye, and by we I mean Stand3 has caught huge walleye. We've caught huge carp that couldn't fit in Walmart nets, and by we I mean my wife and Stand3. Let's see. I did manage to get a 9-pound plus bass through a hole this big in the ice. That was me. We've caught monster pike. We've caught monster. I've caught perch, almost 2 pounds. We've caught monster 14, 15 perch pretty much on a regular basis. So I said to Epic, like I've targeted big fish, but I'm basically just a multi-species angler. And he says, well, then you're built for catfish. And that's the most important part about catfishing is knowing what every other fish in the water is doing. And so I think that's really important. And I think that your background in that has helped you. But anyways.
Well, I think so as well.
As of late, like this summer and on, like you were looking for that fish bigger than 30 pounds, right?
40.
Bigger than 40. And that's happened multiple times now.
Yes, it has.
What was for those people out there that are, and it doesn't matter what level you're at, if you're not catching any catfish and then you want to start catching catfish, if you've been catching some and you want to, like, man, I catch these eaters up to like 5 pounds, I want to get to 10. For you, what was the biggest difference? What do you think was the light bulb that clicked, or what was I know it's a tough question.
Yeah, it's a multifaceted question. It's got, multiple different answers to it, but let's see, I'm trying to think.
Well, that's good because my mic has to be muted so nobody gets an echo. So it's a good thing that there's a lot of facets to this.
So I'd say in the last few months, I've been a lot more focused more on my electronics as far as not fishing spots because they look fishy. I fish spots when I find fish, and I know that's specific to people that have electronics, and I didn't always have electronics, but That's one thing. It's a tool that I have, so it's a tool that I've been using. Um, so that's one thing, but uh, that involves spending a little more time on the water. And um, another thing I think is understanding what the bait is doing at that time. Um, I've been finding, I've been way more successful finding my own bait, or whatever, not having to buy chicken uh, or eel, in the last like 4 months or whatever. I've been able to find bait, and I owe a lot of that to Stand 2, Stand 3, Dustin, those guys have been helping me quite a bit. But like last night, I went out there. I wanted to get Dustin on a big fish, and Dustin, you know, it was a um, it was a joint effort, but I really wanted Dustin to get on a fish because he was in a little bit of a slump. So I went out there beforehand, and I wanted to make sure I could get him some bait so we could focus on finding fish when he got on the water, um, instead of looking for bait. Uh, so that's probably been one of the most important things. If I understand what the bait are doing, uh, just real quick, like lately, I know you want to talk, Stan, but real quick, lately, um, I've been getting gizzard shad in the gill net, um, and I've been hitting the river at low tide, and I've been going on the shallower flats, and they've been swimming parallel with the bank on low tide, um, more so than on high tide. On high tide, I can't get them as easily closer to the bank. They're scattering.
And you've got a floating net, right, with the big orange floats and stuff.
Um, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, because that will make a difference.
right,
There's like our net, we don't have the orange floats on it, so we can set it to different depths. So we can go to like 17 foot, 20 foot water and put the gill net down so it's fishing down towards the bottom or whatever. So that makes a difference at high tide. So with the floating
right.
nets, you need the lower water levels
Yep.
for the floating gill nets to work more effectively. But go ahead.
Yeah, I know Uncle Jeep. I know he looks like he's gonna explode over there, but but yeah, but so during high tide, I've noticed that the gizzard shad have been moving, I think, further away from the bank and going to deeper water, and I don't know quite the science behind that, but it doesn't matter what the science behind it is. All it matters really is you understand what the bait is doing. So it doesn't matter, you know.
Colder water temperatures, fall transition towards winter.
Yeah, yeah. So, um, but even the difference between, you know, at low tide, I'm catching them in 3 to 7 feet of water, and then at high tide, they're moving out of that. It seems they're moving out of that, and I'm getting them in the cast net, um, at high tide. Finding them on side scan, and then throwing the motor in reverse and and throwing the net real quick. And
And
a fast sinking net makes a difference too.
I think Dustin will agree with you with that. Like same thing with them when uh, their big fish first started happening is learning how to use the gill net and being able to catch fresh gizzard shad. I mean, it's the James River.
Yep.
We are very blessed. James calls it the land of plenty. Every place every place has got their own food source, and
Yep.
you have to locate it. For us, it's those James River gizzies. I call them the James River gizzies, but they're those
Hmm.
gizzard shad that are. I heard you say it the other night. They're the same size as NFL footballs. And Stan 3
It's
said,
true.
"Is that Patriot size footballs or the rest of the NFL?" But Deflate Gate and everything. But still, they're huge, huge. You're talking 18, a big gizzard shad. We have monsters up to like 20-inch long gizzard shad. You're talking gizzard shad bigger than bass. They're huge.
Yep.
And that is what the there's James.
Yep. I see it.
Uh that is what the big fish, to get that big, they have to have a standard food source that has the ability to move into deep water, because your bigger catfish are going to spend the majority, and I say bigger, I'm talking 60, 70, 80, 90s pluses. They're not spending a lot of time. They spend the least amount of time moving to chase stuff as possible, henceforth them getting that big. So they're eating a deep water food source. So you have to have that in your water system to get those big fish. So day in, day out, if you want to catch the bigger, in my opinion, that's what you need to find. And you just said it right there, that was one of the keys for you moving on to that next size of fish. And I know Dustin, there it goes. That was a absolutely game changer. And that whatever body of water you're in, if it's a local pond, it may be bluegills, whatever their main, the biggest catfish in that body of water they need to eat. So whatever's in that, the most abundant food species in that body of water, that's going to be their main food. Well, if you got something that if it's every 100 times it eats, 85% of the time, 85 out of that 100, it's eating bluegill. 5, it's eating crayfish. Another 5 times, it's eating hot dogs or pizza crust or whatever falls into the water. And the other 5 is frogs, birds that happen to drop. Well, I'm going to focus on that 80%, that 80 times out of 100 that they're eating bluegill or shad or whatever, because that just math. I'm a numbers person. You have the best chance of catching the biggest fish. What they're eating 80% of the time than what they're eating 5% of the time. Will the chicken baits and all that stuff work? Absolutely. And some days they actually work better than shad or whatever, for whatever reason. But
especially for numbers.
Oh, especially for numbers. If I'm going for numbers, I don't think most time if I'm going for numbers, I do not pull out shad. I may have one pole with shad on it, but I'm going night crawlers. That's when you do your Kool-Aid chickens, your night crawlers. Number one for numbers, you can't beat night crawlers. That's there's probably been not probably guaranteed. There's probably been 2 to 3 or 4 times more than any other bait. Night crawlers has caught more than any other bait out there. But
100%.
But but yeah. So that's sorry, I went crazy there for a minute. But that's I think that's the big thing that people take for granted out there. You see in Facebook groups, everybody's talking about the gel, and that stuff is great. It works for if you're going out there to catch some fish. Throw the Jello chicken. Even plain chicken breast works great. Chicken livers, all that stuff works for catching fish, catching plenty of catfish. But it's not going to be your main bait of choice if you're looking to get to that next level. That's all I try to say. Let's see.
Yeah, I think using like it didn't take me very long. Chad, it didn't take me very long to learn the gill net. It's a simple device. It's not, it's not very complicated. Oh, I got that echo again.
That's because I
and then the cast net. I mean, yeah, it took a while to learn the cast net, but I already kind of knew how to use the cast net. I'd fooled with it for a while or whatever. My issue was where are the stinking shad? Like, where are they? Because when I started fishing the lower James with Stans and Dustin and everybody, we would, I started up closer to the city. Well, eventually got to a point where like the fish, the shad, everything everything started leaving the city. Like I couldn't catch anything up there. Okay, so where are they? So like total game changer.
And just like I couldn't. just a little heads up for most people in most rivers, it's kind of like the daylight savings time, spring ahead, fall back. So uh, the spring, the water starts warming up. They come upriver because what do fish do when they're going to mate? Every fish out there goes upriver to mate. I don't know why. Look at salmon; they go from the ocean. Shad, everything. Stripers,
It
they
makes
go.
sense.
They go upriver to mate. So springtime, water's warming up. They move upriver. Well, the city for us is the end of the lower port. Everybody jokes around the lower upper middle portion of the lower James River, but
It's the
that's
uppermost part of the lower.
Yeah, so everything moves up, and that's as far up as those type of species can go. So yeah, I could be and I've talked to everybody about that. Most of the time I'm happy luck, but when it's like I'm passionate about teaching and about fishing, especially catfishing stuff. See, I'd be kind of brutal, and I'm like, well, where the hell's your anchors? Where's your weights?
Yeah, I was pretty fortunate. Dan from Goober Time gave me this gill net. He had it for a while. It was a 50-footer. And I was walking around the house. I was like, what can I use as the weights for the bottom? Because a lot of people use like one pound. What the heck is he talking about?
Oh, he's talking to you know how it goes. There's always 5 different side conversations out there.
But I was
saying liver's too messy for me.
Yeah. But I ended up tying a horseshoe, 2 horseshoes to the gill net, and that's what I'm using for the bottom weights. And I made a short the other day saying that that's what you need to use if you want good luck trying to get bait. They work perfect.
Yeah, you've been killing those short. We don't do Dustin and Sean. They have the unstoppable shorts. So we had to kind of let's face it, Austin. Like it's in your name, so you have to be great at the shorts. So
yeah, that's true. Yep. Yeah, big shout out to Stan too for telling me about CapCut. I had heard about it, but I hadn't really paid any mind to it, and you can make some really funny shorts with it. But thanks again, Dan, for that gill net, man. I really appreciate that. It's been
yeah, we'll have you on again, Austin. But I'm going to start doing more of these where I'm talking to have one person come up, do the interview shows like I used to do, and we'll just talk. I love that kind of thing. LG
yeah,
Bass,
we'll do
did anyone see the 121-pound blue caught on Kerr Lake? Kerr Lake, blah, blah. That's as bad as Brian B. in the Potomac River. Fish on, fish on, fish on. So Austin, it is oh, that's right.
Thank you, Dan.
Yeah, and that's we've been going back and forth, and I've been having some fun with it lately. And hey, if you can't put up big fish, you got to have some fun with it. So
that's right.
So Austin, we've got 2 minutes left. Right when this ends, everybody's gonna go over to Pontoon Jodi's. Got the Flathead challenge tonight. So with 2 minutes left, anything you'd like to say? Anything you'd like to for those people out there that are trying to get to that next level of big fish and they're just stuck at like 10 pounds, 15, 20, do that. Your channel, just go for it. Talk for a minute.
Okay. I think we'll come back on Stan's show and we'll talk more. But basically, look for bigger fish. use bigger hooks, use bigger pieces of bait. Okay, that's gonna be I don't care if you can't find gizzard shad, then that's okay. You'll learn it, but go buy some whole chicken thighs, put the whole chicken thigh on a 10-aught hook, something, you know. But you got to find some big fish and you got to get on top of them. You know, don't just fish a spot because it looks fishy. I understand if you're on the bank, you're limited, you know, but in my situation, look for bigger fish and put big baits in front of those fish. And if it doesn't work, you try again. You try a different way. If suspending doesn't work, then you anchor up and you put them on the bottom with Carolina rigs. If that doesn't work, put a float, Sandy Cooper rig, you know. But find that big fish and put big baits in front of it. That's it. That's the best way for me to put that in the shortest amount of time.
What? You got me crying. You got me crying, Austin. That was about perfect.
It's true.
That's it, and that's
Thank you, Andrew.
That's right. And it's not about spots. It's not about, you know, we joke around about the mayor's house, and that was more just because of need. Like, we didn't have, when we first started, we were on the bank. Then we got a boat. Well, we didn't even have a trolling motor, so we're paddling with coal shovels. Then we got a trolling motor, so you can only go so far on one battery.
Yep.
And so, you know, you got to learn those spots that are by the bank, that are by the. So that was the mayor's house, and that kind of, you know, so you learn those small water spots, and you know, then you keep going, and that's how you just but you've been killing it, Austin. Big thing is that you haven't really focused on spots. You focused on why they're there and other spots that might be that same thing, not just one particular. It's got we caught one here. We got a fish right here. No, that might be a 40-foot off a ledge,
Yep.
a flat, you know, a sharp ledge. Boom, boom. Well, there's other spots here. Let's go find that. But it's 9:01. We are jumping out of here. I could talk fishing all night. Y'all know that. But Austin, thank you. Y'all check out Fishin Fever. Not only the shorts, but the how-tos, the DIYs. Austin, you know, from day one, I've said to you, it's just going to go up from there. And look, it's happening, brother. And congratulations, well deserved. And you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if you get 100 up on the boat or the bank or wherever. You never know. You never know. I think that you've got the know how to do it. So we're jumping out of here. Deuces.
See you, everybody.